Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. My name is Meg and I'm a fully qualified yoga teacher, a beautician and a masseuse. And this is my YouTube channel where I talk a lot about yoga, tips and tricks and things that you guys can follow along from home to strengthen your practice, but also some health and wellness as well. Today I am going to be doing like a post-flight style yoga class. As you can see, I am currently away and I mean, just look at this view. Stunning. I can't wait to shoot so much content for you all in front of this incredible view. I'm in Lindosson Roads, so these are all the stretches that I tend to do or like to get done after I've been on a flight. We're looking at stretching through the back, through the hips, through the hamstrings, the feet and the shoulders as well from any stress that you carry through while you're traveling. You don't really need anything other than a yoga mat for this class. If you want to use straps and blocks, you can do, but it's not a necessity. And when you're ready, we will get started. We're going to start in a child's pose. One of my absolute favorites. So we're coming down. I know I said in the intro it's best to have a mat, but it has just dawned on me that if you're going on holiday, you probably won't have a mat with you. So you can do this on like a carpeted floor or just somewhere where it's comfortable. So yeah, you don't need to have a yoga mat with you. Yes, we're going to start in a child's pose. We'll take the knees together. We're going to melt over the legs and take the arms out in front. Closing down the eyes, just taking a few deep breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Coming back to reality, coming back to earth. Letting go of all the stress from today. And just focusing on you in this moment. Maybe try and walk the hands out a little bit further forwards so we're getting a good stretch across the back. And we'll come all the way up. So we're going to come into our tabletop. Hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We're going to come into thread the needle from here. So we're going to get into a gentle back twist. So we're bringing the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Maybe even take it all the way around so that you're hooking it around the hip. Imagine you're lifting your right shoulder up towards the ceiling and maybe gazing up, pushing through your left hand. We'll bring that right arm back up if it isn't already there, and then we're going to thread the right arm underneath the left, taking the right ear down and keeping your hips anchored over the top of your knees. You can stay here or you can walk the left arm out in front. Again, coming back to those long, slow, deep breaths, lifting the tailbone up high, really spreading through your fingertips of your left arm if it's out and in front. And you should feel a really deep stretch across the shoulders. We'll slowly walk that left hand back in if it isn't already, and bring the right hand back. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So the left arm is coming up this time, all the way up towards the ceiling, spreading through the fingertips, maybe wrapping that hand all the way back and behind. So you're hooking it onto your right hip. Your left shoulder is picking up and back. You're pushing through the right arm and gazing up towards the ceiling. Long, slow, deep breaths. We'll unwrap the left arm, taking it all the way up if it isn't already there, and then threading the left arm under, taking the left shoulder down, keeping your hips anchored over your knees, and maybe walking the right arm out and in front. Long, slow, deep breaths again, feeling that stretch across the back. I can tell I need a stretch so badly. I can feel, even just when doing this, my shoulders just need a good stretch out after that plane journey. And we'll walk the right arm back underneath you. We're lifting up, taking the left hand down, maybe just rocking the hips or the chest from side to side here. You can do some barrel rolls. So just any movements that you feel like you need to do. And then we're going to come into our cat-cow spines from here. So you're lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, squeezing the shoulder blades together, gazing forward, inhale. Hold this here until you need to take your exhale and you'll tuck the tailbone under, lift the belly, spread through the shoulder blades and tuck the chin in towards the chest. Exhale. Carrying on your own breath. So when you need to inhale, you lift the tailbone, drop the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together and gaze forwards. Deep breath in. And when you need to take your exhale, tucking the tailbone under, lifting the belly, spreading the shoulder blades and taking the chin in towards the chest. So keep going on your own breath, really moving through the spine. Don't be afraid to use as much of the space around you to create a nice big movement and get a deep stretch. And we'll do one more of each. Doesn't matter where you are. Perfect. We'll come back into the center. We're going to come into puppy pose next. So again, this is another deep shoulder stretch. So we're keeping those hips anchored over the top of the knees, walking the hands forwards, and slowly start to take your chest down. Again, we're not focusing on really deep stretches here, just a good stretch across the body, across the back. If you're able to take your elbows down, you can take the hands together and place them onto the back of your neck. So it's just taking that stretch a little bit deeper, a little bit of a variation. Maybe you can take your chin or your forehead down in towards the mat. And we'll inhale, walk the hands back in towards you. We're going to stretch the legs out a little bit more from here. So we've worked a lot on the upper back and the upper body, and we're now going to start to look into stretching through those legs. We'll come into our lunge pose from here. So we're picking up the right leg and we're taking it out and in front, up to the top of the mat. We'll slowly shuffle your back knee back and behind. Breathing here, taking the hands either side of the foot, making sure your front knee is directly above your front ankle. And then we'll shuffle the hips back into our half split, so maybe peeling up the toes, soft bend behind the knees. Inhale, rolling forwards. Exhale to roll back. We'll come back into our lunge and we'll just rock those hips from side to side a little bit. Just getting a bit of movement across the hips. And we'll swap over to the other side. So we're picking up the left leg this time and taking it in between the hands. Left knee is directly above the left ankle. Hands at either side of the foot, and we're shuffling the back leg behind. So you should feel a good stretch into your right hip. Holding this here, feeling that deep stretch into the hip. We'll slowly shuffle those hips back, coming into your half split. Soft bend behind the front knee, we'll roll forwards, lunge, roll back, exhale, half split. Really feeling and getting a deep stretch across the hips, across the hamstring. We'll come back into our low lunge and we'll rock the hips from side to side. And then we'll take that back knee back and behind. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. And bend both knees up and hug them in towards the chest. Push your shoulder blades down in towards the mat and pushing your lower back down in towards the mat as well. Maybe rocking the head from side to side. Just massaging out any tension from across the back of the head. Hug those knees in, and then we'll let them separate apart. We're going to come into some circles with the knees, so separate them apart and then bringing them back in together. Inhale in towards you, exhale, push them away from you. We'll do one more, and then we'll take those circles the other way. And then we're going to just drop the knees out to the side here, so just let them fall out. You can take the hands away, slowly relaxing and melting, keeping your lower back down into the mat, opening up across the inner hips, and just letting gravity slowly open into the legs. If you want to, you can place the hands onto the outsides of the knees. You can hold on to the insides, or maybe just hold on to the knees. We'll then bring the toes in together, and if you can, flexing the toes, we're either grabbing hold of the ankle or onto the outside edges of the feet. We're going to come into happy baby here. So keeping the knees exactly where they are, we'll start to bring the feet up so that they're directly above your knees. And gently pushing onto the feet to bring the knees towards the ground. You can rock here as well. Again, just getting a bit more movement. Massaging out across the back. Opening up into those hips. And in your happy baby as well, maybe you can straighten into one leg, straighten into the other. Maybe you can do both. Bouncing the legs here. Feeling that stretch into the hamstrings. Keep the toes flexed if you can. If you can't stretch both of the legs, just come into that happy baby instead. So keep the knees bent and keep pushing onto the feet. Maybe letting go of the hands and just letting the legs fall apart. Again, just letting them stretch. If you've been sitting on a plane for a long time, they will have been glued together. It's nice to just let them open, stretching into those inner hips. You can hold onto the outsides of the legs. the inner legs. You can push slightly if you want. And then we'll bend into the knees and hug them in towards you. Creating a little circle with those knees, a few one way and a few the other. We'll come up into a seated position. Hands onto the knees and we'll roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale, bring the shoulders up. Exhale, roll them down and pushing them towards the mat. Inhale up, exhale down. We'll take the head in towards the chest and we'll just rock from side to side. So right ear, right shoulder, rolling forwards, left ear, left shoulder. Keeping tall through the spine and the hips. We'll then take the chin in towards the chest, keep the spine up tall and maybe just gently pressing onto the back of the head. Take the hands away, take them onto the knees, close the eyes. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. As you exhale, just letting go of all of that travel, all of that tension that's built up into the body, just relaxing, letting it go. Maybe you're like me and you've now reached your destination and you're on your holiday. And just taking a moment to be grateful for where you are. Maybe looking at a lovely view like I am. And just coming back into reality. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have just come off of a flight, I really hope that this has helped. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and please subscribe. It means so much to me when you guys support my little channel, and it means I can bring you all free yoga content as well. So the more support I have, the more I can bring you guys free yoga content and free wellness content. So please like, please subscribe, and I look forward to practicing with you again soon. Thanks. Bye.